Welcome back to another Orange Aces Balatro high score attempt video. We're going to jump back onto the plasma deck to see if we can get something really cooking. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. Of course, all of the returning viewers, I really appreciate it. If you are new here, please consider subscribing if you enjoy the content here. Yeah, we're gonna go back to the plasma deck. It's where I'm most comfortable and it's where I can get the best runs for you all. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. We're not gonna skip this first blind, no need to. With the plasma deck, of course, you can get through the first few blinds very easily because of the score matching there. If you don't understand what's going on, I will tell you. Basically, it evens out the right and the left side here, so chips and malt. So if you had 150, it would make it 75 and 75 instead, which does change the scoring. We do have an interesting opportunity here with a Joker Stencil. So let's go ahead and grab it and we'll move on. A Joker Stencil run could be very fun. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Basically, for each open Joker slot, you get 1x malt. But if you have 2 Joker Stencils, it does not count itself. So that is pretty cool. We should still be able to get through pretty easily, especially with something like a straight. So you're going to see the score is going to match. Now, early on, X malt in the plasma deck doesn't actually help that much. You'd rather go for chips or something to make it a little better. Abstract Joker could be good here, just because it's going to give 6 malt to multiply by 4. So we will probably pick it up and we should be okay for a little bit of time. But ideally, I would like to onk that Joker Stencil or find another way to get another one, which would be pretty cool. I'm not too sure if 2 pair is going to do it here, but we'll test it out. Yes, it is. But you can see our score is pretty close. So even though it is a pretty overpowered Joker in other decks, we have an opportunity for an onk here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Did not get the onk, which kind of sucks. So let's just go ahead and make some more kings and we will move on. We should be able to get through these blinds pretty easily as long as we score a hand that is worth a decent amount of base malt. The Joker Stencil works pretty well as with like planet cards too, because it is going to multiply that malt pretty easily. 2 pair will get us through here, so we'll just go ahead and do it. So if we did like a 4 of a kind, that's like 10 time, or that's like a 10 base malt. That's multiplying it to 40 already, which is pretty good. I don't need anything in the shop, so we'll skip it and continue on. We will just have to make sure that we play good hands. So here's what I'm saying. We get 7 base malt here, plus 40 chips, plus 6. That's going to be times 13, so it's going to be 13 times 4, which is going to be a decently high score here. As you can see, because of that, if we score better hands, we're going to score pretty high with the Joker Stencil. I mean, ideally, I would like to copy this somehow and get another one of it before I really get rid of it. So let's get rid of some bottom cards there. We don't need them, and we can move on to the next. Hearts are debuffed, which should be okay. We're probably just looking for those kings that we created, to be honest. Get rid of that ace. We will discard one more time. Guess we can get rid of the queen. Doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, the queen came back. So let's just go ahead and play a bad hand and see what we can get out of this. Looking for another king, honestly. We do have 3 more of them in the deck. We're just getting pretty unlucky here. Not scoring much at all. There's our 4 kings right at the bell. So we will play it. I didn't even play my 4 kings. It's okay. We made it through. I don't know what I did there. I must have misclicked and clicked a jack instead of a king. So it might be better to get more chips here instead of the abstract Joker. So we'll pick up a castle. We're discarding hearts. Not exactly sure if we're going to be able to get through this. But we will see. We just need to discard as many hearts as possible. We'll leave that king there. and we get a 4 of a kind, so this should definitely be enough to get us through. Yeah, as you can see, 5,000. We do want some heavy chips until we can find a copy for that Joker stencil. So goodbye to Castle. Arrowhead's gonna get us those heavy chips that we need. We will also pick up Overstock. I didn't mean to roll there, but we will go next here. Could grab another voucher, probably can't afford it. So now we're just looking for spades, as many spades as possible. And you will see that the chips are going to now carry us through these early rounds. The Joker stencil is essentially doing nothing for us until we copy it. That's kind of my goal. We have another chance at an Ankh here. Did not get it. I'll probably go with a familiar, just get some more kings. I think 2 of those were wild, is that correct? We got 2 wild, so that does help with our spades for sure. Open up another Arcana pack, see what we can get. Maybe a Wheel of Fortune. Okay, we move on. An invisible Joker would work as well, so we could think about using that. We're just looking for our spades. Those wild ones definitely came in clutch early on. We're definitely fine for scoring for a while. As you can see, we're scoring 30,000 with pretty much 1 Joker. Arrowhead's very, very strong early on in the plasma deck. Probably going to pick up this hieroglyph so we have more time and more shops to hopefully get an Ankh, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. We will use a priestess just to see if we can get some base stats going. And we could use a world here if we're kind of locking in on spades, so might as well. Let's go next. 4,000 isn't going to be a problem at all. We're already at a flush, and a straight flush at that matter, which is pretty cool to see. Pretty rare to just randomly pop up. 44,000 score. We're 10,000 above what we need to be already. And there it is, the invisible Joker. So for the fun of it, and we get some more world cards, we are going to get rid of Arrowhead when it comes to that, and we're gonna just do double Stencil for now. I don't know why I'm spending all of my money. That's pretty silly of me. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, we're gonna do double Stencil. Very, very cool to get that online early. I guess we can do the king here for the flush. So we are gonna sell the Arrowhead. We're gonna hope that it comes back. Or I could also show you a little cheap trick that we might want to try. Maybe I'll do it just to show you that it's possible, and maybe we eliminate the risk of getting rid of that Arrowhead. So let's go ahead and play. Spades are debuffed. That might be, we might be dead. We just might be dead, which really sucks. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think there's anything that could possibly let me win here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We'd have to play like a few 4 of a kinds with kings, I suppose. Just isn't feasible at all. Yeah, this just isn't going to score enough. 700 points. Not good enough for us. Just looking for a king. I just don't think it's even remotely possible here. Nope. What I want to do is play a little different. Let's do a seeded. Let's put that seed back in there, and let's see what we can do here. I want to see if there was an option that we could avoid that. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I did last time. Played the 2 pair. Gonna buy the Joker stencil. We'll see if this video ever makes it to YouTube. Probably not, but we'll go next. Look for those spades. Not that it matters what we really do here. Go Joker Stencil barely gets us past the line here. I'm just interested in seeing if there was a way we could have avoided it. So I moved on to the next round here. Maybe we go for... Okay, we did not get clubs, which sucks. There we go. This should get us close to where we need to be. Yeah, okay, we got over the hump there. I'm not exactly sure where we picked up the arrowhead. We definitely grabbed the spectral pack. We made the cryptid here. I don't think we grabbed the arcana pack, so we'll move on to the next. Then we were looking for kings. Didn't get the kings. Where did we pick up that arrowhead? And where did we find that invisible joker? That is what we need to know. So, just so you know, seeded run now. I don't know what comes after the joker or the spade boss, so it's pretty much unseeded until that point. Don't think I did anything here. I might have. We'll see. We're gonna get rid of this. There's that 4 of a kind. I remember playing that now. And let's see where we found that joker or the arrowhead. Wasn't in here, I don't believe. Go next. I did not pick up the telescope. Hearts are debuffed. I think we were okay with that. Not sure if this gets us over the hump, but we'll try it. No, close though, close. 5, 4, 3, 2, ace. Probably gets us over. Okay. Good. I see, I remember the castle. We bought this. Then we decided to go for the castle, but I think the arrow is in the next shop. So we'll try and get through there one more time. There's our kings again. I think that got us through. I believe the arrowhead's in this next shop here. Okay, there's the arrowhead. And we go next. Discard 2 random cards, but we have the arrowhead now, so we don't care about anything. So I'm just showing you how we can maneuver through a seeded run. Grab the flush. I think last time we got a straight flush or something like that, but it doesn't matter. We got 30,000. So what I'm pretty much looking to do, did we get anything from this? No. We used a familiar to get those. As you can see, it's pretty much everything back to back. This is good to see. But maybe it's worth picking up the photograph here instead. Just so we can... I don't think I wanted anything from there. Save our money. Pick up the photograph for the time being. Because that might allow us to survive past that boss that we died at. Okay, 31k. Because realistically, we just need another source of chips here. So let's take a look. Our blind, the spade is debuffed. We did go down a level. Now let's search for another joker that can get us through. Potentially the crazy joker. There's our invisible joker. I'm not sure if that's where we found him last time, but we'll buy it. We'll go next. We have a few rounds to figure this out here. Okay, there's our flush again. We do want the double joker stencil. We definitely do. I think it could be a very fun run here. 3 of a kind, maybe not. None of these help us, so we'll do the next round as well. Okay, and this is where it gets interesting. We do need to find another joker to just help us out here. Actually, for some reason, because we rolled the shop, we have the Joker Stencil early. So this is what I was going to show you before, okay? I'll erase the start of the video, but it's cool just to see that you can go back and kind of try and do your best on these runs, right? So there is a little trick in the game. It's kind of cheaty. If you sell it and you don't get what you wanted, you can go back to the main menu, okay? We'll go back to play here, and we'll play, and it does not recognize the selling of your jokers. So now I could try it again. We get photographs, so we're going to go back to the main menu. You can cheat the system a little bit to see what is the outcome, right? We can go play, go again. It does not recognize, so we will sell Arrowhead this time, and see, it's still not the Joker Stencil. So unfortunately, we do have to sell everything to get that Joker Stencil back online fully. So let's go ahead and do it. We'll sell the Arrowhead, sell the photograph, and boom, we have 2 Joker Stencils. Now if you can look, they're both ×5, which is absolutely insane. Now we should be good enough to get past the spade boss here if we find a better solution. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. We'll look for a heart flush, I suppose. Okay, there it is. And now we have a ×5 on this. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely going to get through it now, just because of what we have done. Let's go ahead and try and find a diamond flush, or even a 2 pair is good enough for us here. Again, it's going to go ×5. We're at 10,000. So we currently have a double Joker Stencil run, and Overstock Plus, which is pretty insane this early on. We're not going to grab Idol, but we probably want one more Malt Joker instead of just the Joker Stencils by themselves. So we will go for something else. We'll try and find something here. Burnt Joker is not bad, but we're going to skip it. Red card is a good Malt Joker, but it's not something I'm too heavily relying on right now. So how many kings do we have? 6 kings. Let's just go for our 4 of a kind here, because that's going to be the best option for Malt here early. Or potentially, I guess we can play this straight. It's not going to get us past what we need to be, but it's going to get us pretty dang close. We can play this 2 pair and we'll move on. So we just need a supplemental Joker right now, or we're looking for like a negative or a showman or something along those lines. So let's go ahead and open up this buffoon pack. Aces, not really interested. Throwback, not really interested. Runner, not interested. 2 pair, not interested. Okay, move on to the next here. Cut some cards that we don't need. Guess we'll buy the Fool. So we need to get to 15,000 here now. It is a little bit tough with the Joker Stencil. However, if we draw those kings, I do believe we can get through it quite easily. There's 3 of them. Full house gets me only 4 malt, so I am going to just play this, see if we can get a 4th king. Okay, we got it. So now we have 7 base malt that we're multiplying by 5 and as you can see, that is enough to get us through. So it's really all planets now. Unfortunately, I don't have that much money. All planets are 1 Joker that gets us a decent amount of malt. So Swashbuckler can come in for a little bit here. Why not? Hanging Chad, probably not worth it. So now it's 8 × 4 × 4 instead of ×5 × 5. But getting that extra malt is very important early. So we're only allowed to play 1 hand type here. We do not have a straight, so I'm just going to roll a little bit. So we would love to see that Arrowhead Joker come back. And unfortunately, I just played a full house. Luckily, we have another one. I thought that was going to win in 1. Doesn't look like it did. But it scored 19,000, right? Instead of having to force those crazy hands, it scored 19,000. Now, Odd Todd is just better than the Swashbuckler right now. However, I don't know if I'm going to be playing those cards. So let's look at what's in these Arcana packs first. Definitely gonna grab a hermit. Unfortunately, I don't really like anything else, so just tower me. And we'll go to a buffoon pack. Okay. So this is kind of weird. We'll probably scratch this and we're gonna go for club flushes for the time being. And this should be enough to get us to where we want to be for a long time. Let's go ahead and see. There's our club flush. We're getting a whole bunch of malt from this. And as you can see, we're at 121,000. So these Joker stencils, pretty insane. And I am looking to duplicate them again if I can. I don't really want any of this, so we'll just tower at 2. See here, Hanged Man is good. We're just trying to get to our face cards. Getting some good pulls in the shop, but again, I want to just maximize this Joker stencil if we can. And eventually put a negative in here so we can get even more times malt. So if we make one of them negative, it is going to fill up another slot, and these are going to be times 5 times 5. But with a straight club flush right now, we're scoring 121,000, so we are a little bit ahead of the game here. So we just want to deck fix and potentially find something useful for us. None of these are going to help. We're going to move on. The wall typically should be pretty hard at this point, but it's not, just because we have the Joker stencils, so that's nice. We can go ahead and get rid of these other 8s. Just looking for that club flush right now. We did not draw it, so we'll play a bad hand here. And if we don't get that flush, we do pretty bad, to be honest. We don't get enough malt at all. But this Onyx Agate is just pretty much cruising us through this run right now. Unfortunately, we're unseeded, so if we get a high score, it's not going to count. But it is what it is. We will take some Jupiters. Any amount of added malt is going to help a lot. Maybe we take a Mars. We could do, you know, like a 4 of a kind build in the future here. Not interested in that, so we move on here. Suppose we could make... Doesn't really matter. I don't even know why I have this strength. But we can try and make some more face cards just because they score a little bit more. Okay, we did not get what we wanted here, so we will play a bad hand. We did get what we wanted. I missed that too. But again, this is about 120k. We can move on. Times 4 is pretty crazy. 140k even, so that's awesome. I am looking to duplicate this somehow. That is kind of the goal. And see how far we get with duplication. Baseball card would have been all right, but we do lose that extra malt, so I'm looking for like an ectoplasm before I really add any more cards to my, or any more Jokers to my deck. I'm literally just going to be playing flushes, looking for world cards. The Onyx Agate's probably the best one for the Joker stencil, to be honest, so we got pretty lucky here. Hopefully we get a Jupiter. Okay, we will grab this Jupiter. And probably the 4 of a kind for now. Go ahead and search in this pack. We will grab the purple seal. Don't think there's anything I want. 0 discards could be an issue. Basically just need to draw clubs. We got very lucky and we drew our clubs. Okay, we're scoring about 159,000 with that level on Jupiter, so that's good. Go ahead and go next. Looking for another invisible or even a blueprint or something. Go next here. Not worried about score just yet. I'll just play 3 kings. It's not going to win, but I'll just play them. Act as if it was a discard. Get all of our clubs. Got pretty lucky with the 4 of a kind there. So 4 of a kind scores us about 170,000. Is good. Go ahead and pop open this Arcana pack. We will take the Hermit. Celestial, we're looking for Jupiters. Good. And 4 of a kind. Perfect. Those both help. Do 2 rolls. I don't see anything I want. We move on. Pretty much this run is on autopilot until I find something that's going to help me. No real point in switching out anything. We're just going for the Joker Stencil Dream. 178,000, so we do have to start worrying about scoring very, very soon. We're not interested in that. I guess the Moon card would have been worth it. I probably skipped it too fast. 4 of a kind will help us. Okay, these are interesting cards here. So, to avoid us having to play flushes, we could grab something like an Erosion or a Fortune Teller for now. Something that has really, really good base malt. If we do play a flush, we get 35 malt from it, and this is only 20. So it's not worth it yet. However, we're not going to be able to only play flushes all of the time, right? Especially since we haven't fixed our deck enough. This blind is being particularly mean to me right now. Okay, that was a tarot card apparently. Emperor. I mean, might as well strength you. Let's get rid of the cards we don't need. Not sure if this wins. We'll see. Gonna be close. Okay, 180k right now. I believe the next blind starts at 100,000. See if we can get another. No, we do not get another Jupiter. I guess full house we'll have to do. Would like just a better malt Joker right now. Something. We need to do something before we hit this. We probably can win the round here with just the 3 Jokers. But we want to go endless, right? That's always the goal of these videos, is to get as far as possible. This is going to get us through. We've been kind of in a money struggle the entire time. Really, it's just about leveling up your planets. Erosion's now at 28. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Grab this death as well. So we are taking a little bit of a hit. Actually, we might be good here. 36 now. We're taking a little bit. We're actually going up, so I got to stop saying that. We no longer need to play club flushes, which is good. So we can focus maybe on a 4 of a kind now to get our scoring. And yeah, something like this is going to do wonders for us. We will death this 10. Go ahead and play a 4 of a kind, which is much better than a flush. I mean, that's an extra 12 malt, so we actually did increase quite a bit here. That 36 malt, yeah, 376,000. So just that little bit of malt, because we're multiplying it so much, is huge for this. Only thing we would really consider getting is another Invis Joker, or I mean, I guess we can level up flush, or a Blueprint or a Brainstorm. Forces 1 card to be selected. That shouldn't be a problem. Somewhat of a problem when it's a king. Let's just get rid of it. Okay, we got lucky there. We could have played a flush. We'll just hope that it selects a king next and we'll be okay. We have 5 in our hand now. Perfect. It's worse to play the 5 of a kind, but I would like to get it unlocked. And we know this is just going to win, right? So we're good. And we've won. We just beat a whole round with 3 Jokers. Let's go endless. I'm not sure how far we're gonna make it here, but this just shows you how the way you play the game is greatly impacted on the choices you make. So if the game you might die early like we did because I wasn't paying attention to the boss, or because you played it a little differently, it's possible that you can win out a little bit more here. Roll Swash is not going to help us enough. Fortune Teller, I mean, it's probably worse. If we do the math, this is 20 malt. So right now we have 36 times 4, so we'll say that's roughly 120 times 4 again. We'll say that's that's about 600, right? Or 500, sorry. So if we did this, we would have 57 total malt times 3 would be 150, times 3 again would only be 450. So it is worse right now to take fortune teller. If it was a much higher malt, then it would be worth it taking it. So we're gonna go next here, 220,000. That should not be a problem for us as long as we draw into what we want, which is realistically just kings at the moment. So we do have 4 kings. It's worse to play 5 of a kind, so we will just play 4 of a kind for the time being. And 4 kings is scoring us about 376,000 points, so very, very easy. Let's go ahead and try and find, aha, so a blueprint is in the mix here. So now we have to do some thinking. Fortunately, that's not wanted. We'll take the temperance though. So let's do some math here. Again, now we're doing 36 times 3 times 3, so that's 62. No, 72 times 3 is 210, times 3 is 630 malt. Whereas if we had it times 4 times 4, again would be 120 at 500. So it is better to leave it like this. The other option is we do this, which is compatible. So now we're doing our base malt times 3 plus that times 3 times 3 again. So it does depend on what we're using here. Unfortunately, it's a brainstorm and not a blueprint. It would have been a little bit better with a blueprint. Our arrowhead is back. We're not going to take it this time. Go ahead and use this high priestess. We do get a Mars. So we're doing 28 times 3, which is around the 80s, mid 80s, 86, 84, something like that. Then we're adding 36, so we're at 100 or 110. Then we're going times 3 times 3, so we're gonna be at like 900 this way, whereas this way we would be at like 700, right? So it is better to do this. So it's cool to math it out, but let's just go ahead and put it to the test here. 1600, so clearly my math was wrong somehow. So we're at 900,000 just because we grabbed the brainstorm. So that's a huge pickup. Again, I would love to do an ectoplasm on this build. It would just escalate things a lot more, even better. So that's kind of our main goal, is to look for ectoplasm right now. We'll grab a 2 pair, and crystal ball, if we get omen globe, will help us get that ectoplasm if possible. Not interested in those jokers. We're pretty much looking for a showman at this point. Now we do also have to think, is it better to cut this and have 3 times 4s? So we can do the math on it. I'll pull up a calculator beside me here and we'll do some math together. So we have 28, and we could do 28 times 4 would be 112. We can multiply it again by 4, be 448, again by 4 would be 1792 malt without this erosion. Okay, the current way we have it set up is 28 times 3, right? 84. Then we're adding 36. Okay, is 120. Then we're multiplying it by 3 and by 3 again, which is 1080. So it is better to actually just drop the erosion. So that's interesting to see. So now everything's times 4, and same with the brainstorm. So we're doing 3 jokers in endless, and we're gonna have like a huge amount of points here, 800,000. Now we did drop a level in our Mars, so it is a little unfortunate there. Okay, let's see what we can get. Wow, we got instantly rewarded with omen globe. So now we're looking for an ectoplasm, and we can make this go pretty nuclear for us here. Let's make another wild king and see where we can go with this. So we'll roll, and we should be, it's gonna be close. It's gonna take 2 hands to get through these blinds, but I think it's okay for the time being. Let's go ahead and play it. 1600 exactly. We don't have that many kings, so maybe a full house or something. Not going to do quite as much at all. Luckily, we drew our 4th king. We're through this round, barely. We do need to do something very, very quick, or we're not going to make it through these next blinds at all. But if you think about it, we only have 4 jokers, so an extra hit on Mars is definitely worth it. I guess a Venus if we're in a trap here. We'll roll 1 time. 1 more time. Doesn't help us whatsoever, unfortunately. Go next here. We did get a hit on Mars though, so maybe we'll be okay. Wow, especially if we draw like that. Okay, let's do 4 of a kind here. Okay, it is a lot better. Need another 4 of a kind, and we will move on to the next round. Unfortunately, we have no money here. So that is the main problem with this build. With Eternal Jokers, you could do some Ankh plays and some crazy shenanigans like that. Go and see what our boss blind is. First hand is drawn face down, so Luchador actually does nothing. I don't think if you sell it during, I don't think it flips the cards over for you. I mean, we could try it. We need an Ectoplasm out of this Arcana pack, or we're pretty much dead. Immolate. Okay, we did get rid of a king there, but we can roll to potentially see if we can get anything. None of this is going to help us. I think we're just dead pretty much. Probably got rid of some kings there, so not ideal for us. 1.1 million. Still have a bunch of kings in the deck, so it's possible. Just need one more. Just need 1 king and we can survive here. Unfortunate way to end it here. This is not going to get us enough. But that is the Joker Stencil route. Definitely going to post this one because it's a fun, interesting way to play the game. Unfortunately, we had to go back on the seed, so it was cool that I got to show you that, and we still worked through to the end. We made it to ante 10 with 3 jokers only, which is kind of crazy. I also showed you that trick with the invisible joker. I don't know if it's an intended game mechanic. It most likely isn't, so use it sparingly. Obviously, we were already in a seeded run, so I didn't mind using it. If I was completely unseeded, I probably would not have done that, but it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Joker Stencil, pretty viable, especially if you can get like a 4 of a kind or that base malt online. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll try and make it happen. Take care. Have a good day. Goodbye.